Boys and girls, Brucey here again. I'm just going to do another follow-up review of the Flare Audio Isolate hearing defenders. I've had a chance to use them again at another gig, a relatively quite a loud gig because we're all in close proximity to one another, and it was quite close to a drummer. And yes, my second thoughts, obviously if you watch the first video, I had some thoughts when I used them at another gig, and they were my first impressions. And my first impressions were, these are really, it's a great idea. These are a phenomenal piece of kit, really well priced. This is, again, I'm just taking it to pieces. The fact that they come with a collection of different bits that you fit in your ear, and they fit in so easily, and it's easy to adjust and find the right one for you, and there you go, there it is, and you can squash it down, and you just use the traditional form to put it into your ear of pushing it in. They offer, my first, second, and overriding impression is these offer a phenomenal amount of attenuation. They are, and unlike kind of traditional foam headphones that you might, ear defenders that you might have, there's no problems with the bass area where it's kind of boomy and you kind of lose some of the intelligibility of speech and things like that. These work really well in blocking out pretty much everything in loud environments. Building sites next to airplanes. These are going to be pretty cool to use at loud gigs that you might attend to, or if you're a DJ or something like that. These are going to work phenomenally well, and that's my impression in a nutshell. They offer a really large amount of attenuation, and unfortunately, that attenuation isn't tunable, in the fact that, to all intents and purposes, it is probably a bit too much for what I need sometimes. I'm not saying I wouldn't use them in certain circumstances, but with the ACS custom molds, you can use variable filters. So you could have a 9 dB filter. These are 15 dBs, depending on the circumstances you're in. Obviously, with these, you can't do that. The attenuation is kind of fixed. So that, to me, is a little bit of a problem, because I was also unable to discern some of my guitar playing. As a musician, earplugs are never going to be the perfect solution. The perfect solution is your ears functioning and you hear all the frequency response of the instrument you're playing, and that helps you to play. These will probably, they attenuate a little bit too much. These are adjustable, and I think the frequency response in the mids enables me to hear my guitar better. I would say these aren't the ideal solution either, but they work for me. Again, this is a case of they work for me, but there is no denying, and I hope you take this myth, these are 8 times as expensive as these. These are probably the best low-cost solution out there for hearing defenders, and they work phenomenally well, much better than a lot of the other products in that price range, I would say. I should also say, I've got no connections with Flare Audio. I have nothing to do with them. I just have a real interest, given my academic background, in hearing defenders, and I've researched a lot of hearing defenders and taken part in a lot of hearing defending tests when I was doing my PhD at university. So I'm fully aware of what is out there in the market, and these are amazing. It's a great principle. Again, I want to just do a little bit more research on the figures and things that Flare Audio are quoting, but on the whole, if you're looking for a really good pair of headphones which are gonna, I keep saying headphones, why do I keep doing that? Hearing defenders, that you can go to any gig with, not worry about the noise levels and the fact you're going to get tinnitus afterwards, temporary threshold shift leading on to permanent threshold shift. I would certainly put these up there as something you need to try out. If you are a musician, maybe as a drummer, these are probably going to work well with you, because a lot of the stuff you're sensing is kind of bass, which is going to be conductive. If you're playing a kind of MIDI kind of instrument, such as a flute or something in an orchestra or a violin, I think these might be overkill, apart from when you're on the FF or the FFF passages. These, otherwise, these are probably a little bit overkill, which in some respects is a good thing, but in some respects you might need to make a consideration of something else which has perhaps less attenuation than these offer in certain circumstances. But as a backup pair, these are now going with me to all gigs. They're going with me at all times. They're always in my pocket. They come in a very nice little packet, which is kind of cool, and they plop in there. So I'll have them with me. The other thing about them as well is I always used to take these out with me, just in case I ended up in a club or, seeing a gig or a rehearsal or something like that. I've actually lost a couple of filters and stuff like that. So these are a great interim solution because they are so much cheaper, and I can just keep these ones for when I need them for certain gigs. So well done, Flare Audio. You've got a great product on your hands there.